Hello everybody and welcome back to Analog Vernacular. Today we're going to be playing some more Rogue Trader. We just visited Footfall, went and talked to people, but it didn't seem to unlock trading here with Danrock, so I don't know if there's a reason for that, but we're just going to move on with the story. I was going to look through and I was going to compare and see who wanted what for the most reputation and things like that and try and figure out how I was going to, distribute all of my many goods in my cargo that I have, but it is what it is, and I'm not going to do it manually by going to everybody. So if this is a bug, we'll worry about trading later in the game. I don't know. If it means that we have to manually come to Footfall to do all of our trading, I'm going to hate that, but we'll just see if that's an ongoing bug or if this is an intentional thing. It might be intentional. I don't actually know at this point. Maybe we're just not supposed to have access to trading through Danrock right now. What I do know is that we have somewhere we need to go, so we're going to go there. Okay, so I believe, yep, we're gonna make it over here to the Maledicta and go from there. Okay. Chart new routes. Really? Okay. Don't love that. Lord Captain, according to our telemetry, we have arrived at the coordinates that you specified. The augurs do not register any activity on the surface of the local planets, biological or otherwise, but maybe the Xenos are using their arcane technology to conceal their presence. Despite this, the augur crew managed to locate a faint signal at the system's edge. According to their data, it is coming from an unidentified vessel drifting in orbit at a local gas giant. Okay. My kin could have been faced with a new threat, scavengers like pirates or something worse, if they were taken prisoner. Iliet's voice is trembling with something that could be either anger or fear. I am begging you, Elentok, let us go to the shuttle. I can feel that the thread of fate has frayed and is about to snap. I cannot miss what may be the only chance to solve the mystery behind the disappearance of my home. Okay, we're doing fine on Plasteel. That's one of our lowest ones right now, so I actually am going to put one of the extractums on this. Lord Captain, there is an unusual cluster of binary asteroids before us, rich in rare metals and valuable minerals. They are moving in a fairly stable orbit, which suggests the possibility of constructing a mining station inside the drift. Okay. And then nothing happens? Okay. Sure. Our void ship has passed through a cloud of cosmic dust of unknown origin. Unfortunately, the dust particles were covered with an icy shell that is frozen into a thick sheet on the void ship's hull, blocking some of the technical vents. It will take time for the servitors to clear the ice. Until then, our maneuverability will be somewhat reduced. Okay. I'm confused. Sure, if you say so. I don't like. It feels like there's supposed to be something that happens, but then nothing happens. Okay, we got our group, we got our team. Let's go. Man, level 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. 32. intimidated officer. The lanky, haggard-looking officer with sunken cheeks stares at you in fright. His body is shivering as if from a feverish chill, and his eyes are darting back and forth anxiously. Your lordship, rogue trader, what brings you to our humble ship? Stop shivering like a leaf in the wind, monkey. Answer me. Have you seen others like me in this system? If you have, tell me where, when, and under what circumstances your paths crossed and diverged afterward. She seems really important to the story right now. Like, this is our only story thread right now. How does this work if she's not in your party? Like, she can be purged from your group, right? So, like, there's a possibility she might not be here. The officer's eyes widen at the sight of Juliet. His face grows even paler than before, and his lips move in a wordless prayer, unable to utter a word in response. A whirlwind of orange and blue torments their souls. Can you not feel its gusts in the air all around us? Its hues are terrifying indeed. Heinrich sets his hand on his weapon and nods at the trembling officer. I have seen people like this before, afraid of their own shadow. More than that, I have turned my underlings into this. He has been tortured. Huh. How do you know that I am a rogue trader? The officer swallows, gives you a strange look, and then closes his eyes. Emperor, forgive me. Is this going to be chaos or something different? Whoa, what are you?
You monkey never learn.
This guy again.
I'm beginning to think that your kind is eager to step into our snares.
Shit, they got us. You gasp, sucking in the poison air, each breath scorching your insides with liquid fire from throat to lungs. Every cell in your body is engulfed in maddening pain, as if you are being doused in molten metal, skinned alive, and subjected to yet another form of torture. You hear sounds coming from somewhere far away, the moans of your people, the shuffling of bare feet, and light footsteps slowly getting closer. Rogue trader, a long-awaited meeting indeed. You can barely see anything through the haze of agony, but you still remember the voice well. The voice of the Xenos who devastated your capital world. Mirazhai's face is hidden behind a helmet, but his tone leaves no room for doubt. He is smirking. Juliet, who is writhing in pain next to you, is barely able to breathe out. No, what have you done? Are you dissatisfied, my kin? I promised that you would have your Oh no, Juliet! What have you done? I promised that you would have your precious craft world survivors, and so you will. I will take you to them. I might even be there to witness your jubilant reunion. So, the Drukhari probably destroyed Kruderak, offered her a deal, but whoever's alive is probably just prisoners to the Drukhari. What have you done? I forgive you already, Juliet. I do, I forgive you. I shouldn't, but I do. Damn you. Heinrich growls hoarsely as he tries to get up, driven more by rage than by physical strength. I will strangle you both myself. Mirazhai nonchalantly kicks the arm Heinrich is using to prop himself up, and he tumbles to the ground. Well, that seems unlikely, monkey. Both of your fates are now mine to decide. Mirazhai takes a close look at your companion, squirming in agony, then gestures nonchalantly to someone you cannot see. Bring in the injectors. The monkey I promised to Tervantius are among them. I do not want these wretches to move an inch until they are in the hands of the Arch Machinator. That's a term I haven't heard. I don't know what that is. As for you, there is a disturbing gleam in the Dracon's eyes. That's also something I've never heard. Like, these are the types of things I want little tooltips for, guys. You will have your share of paralyzing dreams, too. But I'm going to keep you. You are far too precious to be surrendered to a madman playing with fire. shit, Yurliet. Oh, can we salvage this? She's one of my favorite party members. You will rue crossing me again. I'm not gonna call out Yurliet right now. I can understand where she's coming from. I am upset though. She should have known better. Mirazai clicks his tongue and shakes his head. You disappoint me, monkey. I have heard the pleas of millions and the curses of billions. You can do better. His last words fill your head like a deafening echo of a ship's siren. The gas creeps deeper into your lungs, eating away at them hungrily. As the agony spreads down your every limb, you are suffocating. Are you enjoying the sensation? I have this poison made for you. Who could have thought that a monkey would one day earn such an honor? A special gift from a Dracon. But you're suffering. The Xenos leans closer to you. I knew the taste would be exquisite were I to add a touch of the Drukhari's talent for extracting anguish. However, there will be time for that later. No matter how I wish to play with you, all, one after another, I need you for a purpose, rogue trader. Kumara awaits you, all of you. Mandrakes, take them, leave none behind. Oh, this is bad. Dude, those guys look crazy. I don't think we fought them specifically. Are they like a specific class of Drukhari or something? Came out of the shadows with their big old blades. I don't think we fought those guys, but... The Obsidian Court. Dude, look at this. Okay, so we're gonna be at some Drukhari homelands. Huh. This guy has no arms or legs. That bodes well for us and our friends. Your consciousness emerges from an ocean of darkness and nightmares as if someone's powerful hand reaches into its depths and brought you into the light. In the dark room, long and angular shadows move around and exchange remarks. One of the shadows approaches you, ripping apart the veil of pain and revealing features that look familiar to you. You are awake, monkey. Mirazai's voice is sickeningly sweet. He is looking at you with idle interest, rolling a soft and milky-colored object from one hand to the other. Our toxin master spared no efforts to drag you out of the induced dream. I must commend the Nightmare Weavers. The emanations of fear you exuded in your delirium are worthy of the highest praise. However, it is time to finish what you were brought here for. It is time to work for the good of the Cabal, rogue trader. Where are the others? What have you done to them? Oh, I do not know, rogue trader. Perhaps they are exuding suffering in one of the choirs of pain and torment. Oh, that sounds awful. Perhaps they are rotting in one of the vats of the tears below. I care little for their fate. As for your little friend from the craft world, oh, you are going to meet her soon. I bet you cannot wait to look into the eyes of the one who brought you to me, can you? Why am I still alive? A good question, rogue trader. You are my tool, you see. A sharp and narrow scalpel that I will use to cut away the festering boil on the body of my cabal. I spared no effort to set up this performance. The witnesses, the spies, the agents, and a small bargain to guarantee the result. I don't like this. All that is required of you is that you quietly play your part. I will even go so far as to put you in your native surroundings, in a manner of speaking. But if I see you stepping out of your role, I will make sure that you bitterly regret it. Burn in the Emperor's scorching light, you filthy Xenos. Mirazai clicks his tongue and gently caresses the object in his hand, with the claw of his glove making it emit a little squeal. It looks like you have acquired a taste for pain, monkey. Have it your way. Resist the inevitable and know a new facet of suffering. The Drukhari gestures to one of the shadows near you and your head is forced backwards. Mirazai brings the hand holding the strange object closer. You manage to make out translucent glassy skin, bluish pulsating organs beneath, and a little head with serrated jaws before the Drukhari pushes the larvae into your face. Well, this is awful. Oh, we failed. What was the check? Oh wow, okay. -5, it was impossible. It was literally impossible based on our stats. -5%? We were below 0. Jesus. Sensing warmth, the creature springs into motion a moment later. As it blindly pokes at your skin, it discovers your nostril and rushes forward, stretching the skin and tearing through the mucous membrane. Oh god. Oh, that literally made a shiver go down my spine. Unbearable pain overwhelms you as the larvae begins to force its way through the soft tissue and cartilage, each of its movements causing a crunching noise to reverberate through your skull. This is the worst thing that's ever been described in text, ever. The creature greedily bites into flesh and moves ever upward, past your bridge, up your nose, past your eyes, and then something alien invades your consciousness. This is what happened to that guy on our ship. This is what happened to that guy on our ship. Darkness clouds your eyes, but the sensation of an alien presence does not relent. This is not a conscious mind, but something primitive, yet unbelievably strong in its unknowable pursuit. It is crawling around in your thoughts, scratching them with its sides, and changing their shape. Perhaps all this is just a bad dream, a quirk of the intellect exhausted by endless troubles. A calumny of a mind too weak for the burden it was made to carry. Word of the day. I don't know what that means. A stray light draws at the edge of your perception. No. Is this my ship? Is this my fucking ship?
You have disappointed us, rogue trader von Valancius.
This isn't real, right? This isn't real. No, this is not real. This is not real. Master Vigdis? Oh no. Lord Captain, we have received an astropathic message from Dargonis. Achilles Scalander reports a Xenos raid against a merchant ship in Gardafol's Calamity. A new message from Master Scalander, Lord Captain. Achilles' aides have reported that the Xenos leader will be heading an attack on the Paradise World Grantis.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
We have... who is this? Achilles? We have identified the breed of Xenos that pose this threat. The Eldari, humanity's ancient and insidious foes. I focused all my attention on investigating the attacks across your protectorate. I suspected that there was something bigger behind the Xenos attacks, but... okay. How is it that you were the only soul who managed to escape the trap on Rykad Minoris? How much truth is there to the rumors that the heretic Kunrad Voidfear is spreading about you? Okay, Lord Inquisitor. This is all in our head, right? I'm going to ignore any minor liberties that you, esteemed rogue trader, may have afforded yourself. Okay, I can't go down there. Do my eyes deceive me? Explain yourself, Alantok. Why is there... Too fucking fast, bro. Explain yourself, Alantok. Why is there a shard of Cruderok in your chamber? So it was a part of Cruderok. We guessed right.
I always have a backup plan.
No, we cannot.
You are accused of consorting with Xenos, betraying the Imperium, and neglecting the interests of humankind.
Oh, is that Cassia? Pulsating strands stretch from under Cassia's headpiece, one wrapping around her neck while the others drain her lifeblood through her weeping eye sockets and mouth. Oh, this is awful. Yeah, it's everybody in the party.
Open.
Every exposed area of Argenta's skin is mottled with an intricate pattern of scarlet blisters, crimson indentations, and charred tissue. A passing ray of light reflects off the countless tiny blades that look like they sprouted from inside Adira's body. All of the Cold Trader's bones were broken. Her augmented arm was ripped from its socket, and the bones of every finger on the remaining hand are twisted and sticking out at strange angles. Pascal's augmetics were separated but not extracted from his body. The places where they connect to the organic tissue teem with predatory millipedes feasting on the coagulating blood and accumulated pus. Abelard Versarian's limbs were amputated and then sewn back onto his body with remarkable skill and precision using human tendons. Oh. I mean, why do you gotta explain this stuff in so much detail?
The tribunal is waiting for your explanations. Come closer.
And here comes our principal witness, the rogue trader himself. Heinrich gives you a cold look. If the presented evidence was not enough to convince you, his testimony will conclude this confusing case full of oath-breaking lies and heresy. You dragged this boy into this trial and now expect someone will lend an ear to a lowly heretic's testimony? I thought better of you, Interrogator von Kallax. I was so very wrong. Lady Theodora's voice sounds even harsher and angrier than you remember. The Lord Inquisitor makes a vaguely dismissive gesture. Enough, let him speak. The sooner this business is concluded, the better. Then let us continue. Shielded by the powers of the warrant of trade granted by the Imperium, Theodora von Valancius more than once allowed herself to openly collaborate with Xenos. You've never seen such a contemptuous grimace on the interrogator's face. She plunged her entire protectorate into apostasy and heresy, including the current rogue trader, and went out of her way to prevent the Inquisition and me personally from maintaining order inside the Expanse. Does the rogue trader admit to fraternizing the Xenos, serving them as a puppet, and rejecting God Emperor's blessed light for the sake of the heretical desires and base profit? Oh, 20%. Oh, that's so bad. Okay. The Xenos is gone. Why is the Lord Inquisitor here? And Theodora's reanimated corpse, too. Didn't she die? Everything is wrong here. Died, you say? But who are you talking to if I did? Get one simple truth into your empty head. Your role in these events is negligible. You shall think me the Emperor on the Golden Throne if I so choose, and think me dead if it strikes my fancy. But this is not what matters right now. Just looking in your direction makes me sick. Why must I speak to the filth? The last words are obviously meant for the court, not you. Okay. Those guys all just pulled guns on me? Heinrich bends over you with a crooked smile. Rogue trader, are you alright? Or was your heretical association with Xenos so disruptive that you lost your mind? The mocking words do little to hide his irritation. The interrogator is obviously displeased with the turn of the conversation is taking. The Inquisitor leans forward slightly at the sight of your anguish. For a brief moment, the boredom in his eyes is gone. It was amusing, but the joke has outstayed its welcome. Theodora shoots the interrogator a nasty look. It is painfully obvious this heretic is dancing to your tune. His word against mine? You had lost before you even unsheathed your blade, Heinrichs. Oh, you need not worry, dear Lord Captain. It was not my intention to bring up unsupported claims. Heinrichs produces a data slate and skillfully manipulates the device until he locates the necessary information. The rogue trader uncovered the crimes of the Eldari in the most important agri-world of the von Valancius Protectorate, which feeds many Imperium colonies in the Expanse. But instead of purging the planet of the Xenos menace, he allowed the Inhumans to take refuge in the shadow of his power. They are corrupting Genusian society even as we speak, and who knows, perhaps another rebellion will not be long in coming. The rogue trader's ties to the Drukhari, a different subspecies of Eldari, are just as obvious. Who else could help him divine the carefully prepared plans of the Drukhari, if not other Drukhari? Analog vernacular von Valancius always ended up in the location of the next Drukhari raid, knowing for certain where they were going to strike. Oh, the only options I have are to submit. What? It's like we don't have a choice. I mean, this isn't true if they're talking specifically about the Drukhari. I mean, we worked with Yerliet. I mean, both of these are admission to working with Xenos, so, like, we have no choice. Yes, I did cooperate with Xenos, this I will not deny. Cooperation is a double-edged sword. Sometimes you use your partner, and sometimes your partner uses you, which is what happened to the rogue trader. Lady Theodora used him to undermine the standing of the Imperium in the Expanse. The Tribunal remained silent, although those present cast anxious glances at your predecessor. I'm struggling to figure out where this is going. At this point, the Tribunal probably wants to know what the true intentions of the Von Valancius dynasty are. The rogue trader claims he has been waging war against the Drukhari this entire time. Except, was there really a war? Or was it another carefully staged performance? Heinrichs is looking at you closely, almost without blinking. Allow me to explain what actually happened. Analog vernacular Von Valancius personally invited the Drukhari to his worlds, and then used their strength and resources to sow chaos in the Expanse, to gain leverage over his rivals. It is very convenient to play the victim while working with those who rob your neighbors blind and terrify the worlds that pay you tribute. How much did you profit from this, rogue trader? Did you think I would not uncover your pathetic conspiracy? Still 20%. I have to try. Enough of this circus, Heinrichs. I did not set up any attacks. Oh my god, we got it. I fully did not expect. 1 in 5 right there. That was a 1 in 5 chance. Whew. Okay, we got it. Rolled a 3. Alright, rogue trader. Heinrichs addresses you through clenched teeth. You are destroying your only chance to make yourself useful to the Inquisition and to me personally. Do not tempt fate and do not resist the examination. Are you really saying your war with the Drukhari was not a hoax? Then how did you and your foolish subjects know the coordinates of the enemy ships every time? How did you know their targets? Do you think your expert on all things Xenos was shrewd enough to divine the carefully devised plan of the Cabal's finest? I mean, all of that came from Achilles, so, right? No, only other Drukhari could do that, and even then, only a few. This means you are in collusion with them. It means that I think Scalander was, so, which we've kind of been suspecting him for a little bit now. Bull-headed stubbornness does not befit a man of your pedigree, rogue trader, but since you have decided to deny everything, I will summon another witness. I am sure everyone will find it interesting to explore this sordid story from another angle. Yerliet silently takes a graceful step forward. If the court so desires, my speech will run like a river and wash away your doubts. I found a shard of my home in the rogue trader's chambers, an entire craft world vanish among the stars, the only clue to its fate resting in the hands of this monkey. That was when I began to suspect that he had something to do with the misfortune that had befallen my Kruderok. Do not be deceived by his breed. There is a cunning predator lurking behind the fluttering of fragile butterfly wings. The monkey before you is a bizarre amalgamation of qualities not usually inherent in his feeble species. He has mastered the mysteries of many of this world's cultures, the secrets of the universe and the ancient artifacts, the fine art of war. The intricacies of deceit, all are embodied in a single monkey, however hard it may be to believe. However, the thread that bound our paths broke the moment I realized the monkey's involvement in the disappearance of my home. To flee the rogue trader, I tracked down and eliminated his chief tracker, who has pursued our kin in this part of the galaxy for many years, and thus earned clemency before this court. Okay. What? To flee the rogue trader, eliminated his chief tracker. I mean, in this case, that would be Scalander, right? Okay, yes. So, Achilles did not simply vanish, you helped him disappear. Heinrichs nods curtly. I say he had only himself to blame. An agent who cannot recognize an impending threat is useless. Like, this is all in my head. I can't help but feel like this might be just like a waste of time. It's kind of like just going over things that we already know. So I'm struggling to figure out where this is going. Heinrichs nods with satisfaction. It's bothering me, but let's keep going because it may come together in a satisfying way. Heinrich nods with satisfaction, noticing your reaction, or rather the lack of it. The court has been presented with enough evidence, and I hope no one is harboring any doubts as to the guilt of the von Valancius dynasty. But let us allow the rogue trader to say his final word. We are all curious to know what you have gleaned from this inquiry. And if this is all just like a dream, this might all just be useless. Like, unless it's actually leading to something, I don't know what the point is, but... This is just me right now. I am still struggling to make sense of what is going on here. You do not need to understand, monkey. You have done what was required of you. Now muster your strength. He just called us a monkey. Heinrichs did. So I wonder if each of these is one of the actual real ones, and they're trying to glean some kind of information from me, but what? Now muster your strength. We still have a fun... Enough. Okay, so each one of them represented one of the people that was talking to us. So they were trying to get some kind of information out of us, I think. After the spell is lifted, staggering pain pierces your body, darkness clouds your vision, and nausea creeps up your throat. But the wounds you manage to forget soon remind you that you are still alive. Archon Nazrakai. Look at this dude. The weakness of your subjects is an insult to the Council of Archons and the Supreme Overlord of Camarah himself, Yermeris. The commanding inhuman voice tears you from the vice of agony, and you see an unknown Drukhari in the center of the chamber, whose presence alone causes your insides to clench. Instead of fighting and ripping what they are owed from Destiny's hands by force, they dare to crawl into the dark palace begging for favors. I don't even know who or what he's talking about here. Have our subjects come to him to ask for favors? 0%. Look at the female Drukhari. Which was the one that was a little further down, I think? Is Yurliet actually here? Look at Yurliet. So she actually was here. Well, fuck me. Yurliet absorbs every word, occasionally wincing in pain and covering her weeping wounds. Her posture and gestures are full of tension. Like prey cornered by a pack of predators, Yurliet shrinks under the hungry stares of those around her. Okay, well this isn't going to work because it's a 0. The Xenos looks menacing. Perhaps she is the personal guard of the Drukhari sitting on the throne. Was she the one that we met on that first planet, the prison planet? Before going back to ours or before meeting Mirazai the first time? Look at Mirazai. Right there. The smug grin has fled Mirazai's face. He clutches the hilt of his blade and casts a vicious look at the female Drukhari in sumptuous armor. Is that sumptuous? Okay, if you say so. Look at the Drukhari upon the throne. One half of his face is hidden behind a golden mask with an intimidating visage. The other half is showing a malicious, sharp-toothed leer. The Xenos' elaborate armor is decorated with skulls and patches of human skin impaled on countless blades and hooks. Lovely. He carries himself with authority and ease, as though he is a ruler who holds the threads of fate of all those present tightly in his grasp. With the greatest respect, mighty Nazrakai, Archon of the Cabal of the Black Heart, first among the chosen, voice of the Overlord of the Dark City, bringer of demise, conqueror of 100 worlds. That's a lot of titles. Do you have to do that every time you address him? He dismisses Mirazai like a bothersome fly. The Council of Archons has heard enough platitudes, Drakon Mirazai, and no longer wishes to... I have no idea what's happening. Sly's intrigues, ruthless chill to jagged ice, turn lips, blah 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 something. Can't read it because it goes too fast. Stranger. Full on face mask here? Oh my gosh, I have no idea what's happening, but okay. Of vitriol verbose the cut and thrust, keep time with fate's own machinations grave, but whose deft footwork leads to naught but dust. While from its brutal finish none can save, this play the puppet master granted, through murky stalls a path obligingly. The great puppet master has Vect himself invited you to this chamber. The Archon chokes on his own words, but quickly regains his composure. Okay, so we've got an Archon, and an Archon is above whatever Mirazhai is. What did they call him? Dracon. So we've got Dracon, which is some kind of leadership position, Archon above that, and now we're meeting a great puppet master, which sounds like somebody who probably is able to control other people or something. Like maybe puppet masters are, I don't know, I'm guessing, because I don't know anything about the lore of these guys, but we know that they have methods of controlling other races, like they did with the one guy on our ship. And I wonder if the Great Puppet Masters have something to do with that. Or maybe the Great Puppet Master, maybe there's only one person who holds that title. And then we have Vect. So Mirazhai, the Archon, Puppet Master, and then whoever Vect is above them. Just trying to get the hierarchy here. The Archon chokes on his own words but quickly regains his composure. No matter, you may be our guest, Erebenian. But you are merely a spectator in this performance. And spectators do not belong on the stage, as you undoubtedly know. Do not interfere. The stranger presses a delicate finger to the lips of his sorrowful mask and says with a twinkle in his eye, "A shadow in the shadows will I be." Oh boy. Okay, 40%, 10%. Recall what you know about Vect. Oh god. That would have been such a great get right there. Judging by the Archon's reaction, this is a prominent figure in the Drukhari hierarchy, but memory fails you. You are not familiar with a Xenos by that name. Look at the Eldari who interrupted the trial. 40%. Okay, we got that one. The bright motley, the hollow suit, the mask hiding its owner's face, and the graceful, subtle movements. Before you stands a Harlequin, another representative of the multifaceted Eldari race. The Xenos catches your eye and nods. For a moment, the play of shadows on the mask appears to twist its expression into a mischievous grin. Hey Archon, or whatever your name is, I shall soon be adding your mask to my collection of Xeno artifacts. Yeah, this is a great time for me to insult the person who's interrogating me. The words almost fly from your lips when a sharp pain seizes your head in a vice-like grip. Almost fly, so we didn't even get the words out. Blood and nausea roil inside your throat, and the world starts swaying before your eyes. It looks like the creature Mirazhai shoved into your head is still suppressing your will with all its might, but you can already feel its approaching demise. Ooh, I do not want a worm dying inside of my brain. Please don't let that happen. The Archon addresses the female Drukhari standing beside him, his eyes alight with mockery, not directed at her, however, for he is still looking at Mirazhai. How does the Archon intend to pay for her Cabal's blatant disrespect? I am waiting for your reply, Yermaris, and my patience is growing thinner with each breath you take. Mirazhai's eyes widen, filled with astonishment and disbelief. He seems to have been certain of the outcome and did not expect what he's hearing now. His lips twist in an enraged snarl, hatred directed at the Xenos on the throne, and yet it finds no outlet under the gazes of the dozens of Drukhari in the chamber. I think that's the first time we've seen this portrait as well. So, Yermaris, I humbly bow before the Council of Archons and apologize for this outburst on behalf of the Cabal. Allow me to prove my respect to you with a humble gift. Yermaris points at you with a clawed finger and flashes a satisfied grin. The Dracon of the Cabal of the Reaving Tempest himself and his amusing monkey plaything with their entourage of hapless freaks will enter your arenas and fight the best warriors for the crowd's amusement. They're sending him into the arena with us? I don't really know what he did to piss them all off. I'm a little bit confused about what specifically he did. I'm a little bit lost, not gonna lie, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. A muffled chuckle can be heard from under Nizrakai's mask. Kamara accepts your gift, Yermaris. But what should I do, for Mirazai is the first among your blades? Should I cast him out of the palace and condemn him to disgrace? Or should I be merciful and allow him to leave the chamber on his own? The Archon's chilling gaze falls upon you. I think I know who will make this difficult decision, a creature whose mewling the Council of Archons was meant to heed. Is this not right, Mirazai? You will receive what you have been longing for. It will be the Monkey who decides your fate. Mirazai's face contorts in despair. His gaze shifts from the Archon to you, then to Yermaris, and back, but he does not dare to utter an objection. I'm gonna say nothing. The lesser races are disgustingly primitive. The Archon of the Cabal of the Blackheart addresses Mirazai, ignoring your words. The Monkey cannot even decide the fate of its enemy, and you were hoping that someone here would lend an ear to its words? Amusing. The arenas of Camarah will devour you and your playthings. With a hiss of rage, Mirazai draws his blades, preparing to fight back. So he caught us, brought us here for some purpose, and now they're not having it. They don't give a shit. They're just gonna throw us all into the arenas to fight, including him. The Archon nods in satisfaction and makes an unfamiliar gesture. The guards draw closer to you. Let us return to you, Yermaris. Damn, it put both of them down. I don't think they're dead. That wouldn't make sense. They want us to go into this arena. So I think they were just incapacitated. The Harlequin's laughter interrupts the Archon and echoes under the vaults of the chamber in a resounding baritone. And all the masks upon their marks now stand, the slave of vanity the spire ascends, the thief and traitor cast downward by her hand. Unbeknownst to all, their fate depends upon a lead unseen, a player green. The Harlequin leans forward and eyes you with genuine interest. Is this how you treat the hospitality of Camarah, Arabenian? The Archon angrily balls his fist, the shadow of his wrath hanging over the Eldari interloper like a thundercloud. I thought your words were worth more. You insult me by interrupting the trial again. I wonder if the Harlequin is more at a level playing field with the Archon. The Xeno sweeps into a theatrical bow without taking his eyes off Nazrakai's face. You Archons speak a just rebuke in truth. Fate's melodies and sorrows fantastic have entrapped me here, and when I heard them play, I could not keep my lips from grinning wide. Here comes the hour for shadows to retreat to where the curtain waits to rise. The laugh with no beginning now sends forth the call. Yeah, sure. Makes sense to me. I know what's happening. God, I'm so lost. I am so lost. Hopefully whenever we get out of whatever predicament we're in, they'll explain things to me a little bit better. Okay, the angle of that looked weird. I thought I was wearing tech priest robes for a second. Didn't look like me from that angle. The world is an impenetrable haze of warm pain. You lie motionless. No, you rest. In the murky gloom slowly dissolving into nothingness, sometimes your repose is troubled by unpleasant and persistent tremors, coming from the place where your legs used to be. You do your best to ignore them. I better not have lost all my gear. It's the stranger again. Away, you vulture, this is not your prey. A vaguely familiar voice reaches you through the curtain of darkness, but your disobedient thoughts refuse to reveal where and when you have heard it before. Was it just recently or 100 lifetimes ago? The trembling coming from your legs is replaced with a violent jerking motion, and then it finally stops. From this phantasmagoria retreat, and deftly seize my merchant vagabond, the puppet master's strings left dangling, again rise up to take your place and dance. A spark ignites in the darkness, and its light ruthlessly cuts through the gloom that envelops you. An ugly image of the reality around you assaults your retina. You can feel your body again and realize it's filled with pain. Your shoulder is sore from an injection. Until I get a cup of recaf, my vital status is yet to be determined. This is me in real life. Give me my coffee, damn it. Alas, the bliss of death will save you not. The whirling waltz of chance and gloom you'll dance. Sure, I know. Yep, totally. A prickling sensation burns your shoulder, and the darkness at last fully withdraws from your mind. Whatever the injection was, it is making your heart beat a frenzied tattoo. Wait, what? It is making your heart beat a frenzied tattoo in your What? What? Is that a sentence? Whatever the injection was, it is making your heart beat. A frenzied tattoo in your pupils narrow so that you now register every detail of the disgusting place in which you have found yourself in merciless clarity. I didn't understand that sentence at all. I'm struggling today, clearly. Why is this act so confusing at the start? Okay. Well, that's not a good chance. Feel your body. Hey, we got it. We're getting pretty lucky on these 1 in 5s. You immediately regret this decision. Every inch of your body is suffering. There's a dull, debilitating pain in your head caused by chemicals of some kind. Your body is covered in deep cuts, made either for fun or with sinister intent. All of your organs appear to be intact, but the same cannot be said for your blood. You have lost a great deal. Finally, a strange gnawing spasm occasionally flares at the base of your skull. It is not severe, but for some reason, it is what concerns you most of all. All your equipment is gone. Ugh, hate this, hate that. As are your shoes. You do not even have a knife to fend off enemies or to open your veins. Look at your rescuer. Your eyes refuse to focus on the blurry figure. He appears to be tall, emphatically refuses to continue. Concentration causes you suffering. Look around. You're surrounded by the dead. Who are you? A dream obscure of death, deliverance, illuminating will, and agony. Yeah, what's your deal? Are you actually like trying to help us right now? A dream of death, deliverance, illuminating will, and agony. Okay. I mean, no, that doesn't sound very good. Is it like deliverance from life? Agony? We've got death. Okay, where am I? Among the shadows and the wings you lie, where taut are pulled the puppet master's strings. The stranger intricately links his fingers to mimic the tools of a puppeteer. My companions, where are they? Not here. The roles have been decided now, but if you play your part, perhaps the plot will draw you back together, or to doom. The figure's cruel laughter follows. This overture in verse, the final lines, the merchant's time to tread the boards has come. Embark you now upon your pilgrimage, and take my parting gift, a humble prop. The stranger deposits something in your hand and disappears into the twilight. A shitty gun. Oh dear. Attempt to rise. Your body has suffered too much to obey your mind, or rather that is how it would have been for someone else perhaps, but not for you. You have lived through worse. Anguish and torture could never break you now. You will rise to your feet and press on. All that is left to understand is why you should. Okay, remember all the people whose lives depend on you. Hundreds of faces flash before your mind's eye. Friends, subjects, and companions. The universe is cruel and full of darkness, and your will and determination are the only barrier between your loved ones and its crushing apathy and brutality. You have no right to die, not here and not now. Resoluteness floods your veins like incandescent plasma, and you make another attempt to get up. Power of honor effect. Permanent. Plus 10 toughness? Cool. Okay. You get up. Yes, your body aches and rebels against you, but your tempered mind is stronger than mortal flesh. You draw yourself up straight and take in your surroundings. Okay, and they start us off with an injury. Sounds about right. Find your missing companions. Find a way to escape Camera.
Let's not waste time with pleasantries.
Hamstrung. Your tendons have been carefully cut with a sharp blade in order to cripple you without completely robbing you of the ability to move. That's awful. Okay, we got a whole bunch of these, huh? The corpses smile at you with warmth and whisper quietly, "You are done with. Join us." Alright, let's make a hard save. My god. It's a lot of reading. I'm confused by a lot of what's happened. But let's go and find our friends. These corpses fell down here from above. You hear them whispering about the beauty of their long descent and the cruelty of the impact. that broke their cold bodies. Alright, since we don't have our party, some of this stuff is going to be really hard. You find nothing. Oh, did I equip the gun? No. Okay, let's put that on.
I won't let it define me.
Okay, great. Blasted Void Fear, he killed your people, tore down your banner, and replaced it with his heretical rag. Okay, well, why is this here, and why is it tied to Void Fear? Find help.
I'll learn from this mistake.
If you surrender to the cough and lie down, it will be easier to breathe and your lungs will stop burning. Okay.
Failure is just a temporary setback.
Okay, no luck so far.
I won't let it define me.
Come on, I gotta get some of them.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
I mean, these are close to 50-50s. Like, come on, dude. Oh, we are succeeding on some of these, actually. Oh, no, that was the awareness check. Never mind. Don't hurt me, I've got nothing for you to take. So many dead people around you. How? It must be Void Fear. Damn him. For what he has done to your crew. Why are we blaming Void Fear? I'm confused. Why is Void Fear being brought up here so much? What does Void Fear have to do with any of this? Did I miss something? In a pleasant voice, the strange device invites you to put your hand in its depths and press the activation button. Sounds like a bad idea. An enormous eye stares at you through the glowing portal, or rather the portal is the eye of something enormous. Its maw patiently waiting for you to step inside. Once again, sounds like a terrible, terrible idea. Don't touch that. That's my corpse. Sorry.
Keep your wits about you.
Okay, there was no alternate path, right? Okay. It's only one direction to go. You fool, do you have a death wish? That's why they came here, to get people like us. I'm still going to try to sneak past. Maybe they won't take any notice.
You'll suffer exquisitely.
I told you not to let them see you. They're hunters, damn butchers. Do we think we can take them? So this is our way around, it looks like, but do we think we can take them? I've got one crappy gun. How much damage does the gun do? 7 to 14, that's not great. And he's not very good on his own. He's not really our heavy hitter. Especially when he has a crappy gun.
Is there money to be made?
Okay.
Who, if not me? I'll see to it personally.
Yeah, I'm gonna win this. Don't even worry about it.
I won't compromise my
Okay, so it's
principles.
only these ones we can do on ourselves. May as well. We got the points. I'm gonna give this a good college try. It's not gonna work, but you know, it is what it
I'll
is.
make it happen.
This This won't go well. Yeah, we don't have armor either.
Killing is my art.
Oh my god. Okay. So our HP is lower than it normally would be at this point, right? All right, well, we got it, so guess I won't complain. Okay, go away. Bro gonna see me? We don't have like a line of sight sort of deal for sneaking like we do in like Baldur's Gate, so I'm gonna be a little bit more careful than maybe I normally would be. If you surrender to, yeah, I know. Okay. Your brave enforcers spend their every waking moment training. After all, Voidfear could return at any moment and try to take over your ship again. What? I am lost. I am completely lost. What are you on about with Voidfear? What? I'm so confused. Am I stupid? I feel like I'm stupid and just missing something. The barking of weapon discharges becomes Theodore's disapproving grumble. You consider that to be the face of a rogue trader. Is the idea that we're still under the effects of what was happening to us before from the worm or whatever? Like, I don't know. This is being presented really weird and I'm confused about what's happening. To the pit. Okay. Now, I don't know if we can get up that direction right now, so we might need to go to the pit first.
I always keep my options open.
That might be where the rest of my party is. Why do I have such a hard time with the beginning of chapters? Like, the beginning of chapter 2 was rough for me as well. I doubt I can wear any of that. Oh, I can wear the boots. Okay, there's actually nowhere to go over there. Oh, I might be stuck. Okay, we made it back. Okay, so that was a dead end. I thought it was gonna lead further north, but it's not. All right, so we got that. There might have been something here that we could have done, but I think we're just gonna move into the pits for now.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Okay. The den you have found yourself in is filled with heady smoke, and the walls are lined with living shadows. The center of attention is a snake-like Xenos. He is engaged in conversation with a pale, harried-looking Drukhari, and pays you no mind, much like everyone else in here. So, this is just basically like an open-air prison, right? Ooh, succeeded. What was the check on that? Oh, wow, okay. We've been getting really lucky with those. You have heard of this breed of Xenos, the Sleeth. These creatures can often be found in the entourages of powerful Drukhari lords where they serve as bodyguards and champions. They are just as depraved and vicious as their masters, but theirs is a more primitive intellect, and they are driven by baser needs. Okay, got that one too. Everyone gathered here is armed. They all bear scars, and some even have fresh wounds. You notice a few humans among the Xenos? They clamor in a mishmash of tongues, and their laughter rings with lunacy and bloodlust. The air is thick with an all-pervading sense of doom. Your trained eyes do not fail to notice that virtually everyone in this place is under the influence of some substance or other, and powerful ones at that. It seems you have wound up in a narcotics den. Observe the scaled Xenos. The leader of this gang is powerfully built. His scaled hide is reinforced with engraved metal in several spots. His long tail coils around and around as his snake-like head sways gently from side to side. The Xenos is enjoying a state of blissful relaxation. His companion, the gaunt Drukhari, is looking at him obsequiously. Her entire body is adorned with hundreds of embedded steel beads and thousands of red injector marks. May we speak? The snake-like Xenos either fails to notice your presence or is simply ignoring you. Iridescent eyelid membranes slide over his eyes, momentarily shuttering them. No doubt a telling look among his kind. Without deigning to look at you, the cadaverous Drukhari mutters, "Malice wants you to disappear, pathetic whelp." You are Malice, I take it? His serpentine head turns to you with inhuman fluidity, his forked tongue tasting the air. "I am Malice. You are an inconvenience. Get lost or you'll find out how Malice deals with an inconvenience. Human. Deals with inconveniences, humanling. I require..." They're not going to help us. This is probably a bad call. "I am wounded." "What makes you think I care?" "No, don't answer. I don't care what makes you think that." "Ah, lovely day we're having, isn't it?" He casts a sidelong glance at you and says skeptically, "Not for you by the looks of it." "You are right, I could use the services of a healer, so go look for them elsewhere." "I could pay you handsomely." "You have nothing, don't waste my time." The Xenos keeps his attention focused on the Drukhari, but his scaled fingers, holding an elegant-looking injector, clench in displeasure. He speaks slowly and indolently, like a snake about to enter brumation. Oh my god. It's a 50-50. Let's see. I'm gonna try it. This is such a bad call. I'm gonna die. Shoot the Drukhari in the head. "Is there a problem with your hearing? I came to you with a business proposition." Oh, we got it. The Drukhari's head shatters and some of the scraps stick to the snake-like Xenos' face. You now have his undivided attention, and that of everyone else in the room. The Xenos' idle apathy drops in an instant, his tail coils, as he readies himself to strike, but he freezes. His eyes are transfixed on the barrel of the pistol aimed at his face. With a satisfied hiss, he says, "I respect the fearless. What do you want?" "I need a healer. And what will you give me in return?" Neither of these address that. "I wish to return to my domain in the Koronus Expanse." "Ha! Many dream of that. And how do you imagine that would work? You think I'm going to take you there in my void ship? I don't have one." Okay. So, is it because I don't have what I need to trade with him? We shall discuss this later? What? The little strength you had left in your body has run out. You collapse to the floor, and the darkness that nearly extinguished your mind permanently envelops your vision once more. Through the drumbeat of your heart, you hear Malice's voice from somewhere far away. "Patch up the humanling. He has character. I like those ones." Okay. Alright, we got a friend in our little Slithe friend? I don't even know how to say it. Slither. The Slith. Sensation slowly returns to you. Your body is still in pain. But you are no longer on the brink of death. Your wounds have been crudely closed with metal clamps, and your throat is pocked with injector tracks, as though you have been wearing a neck pillow of needles. The one who rendered the first aid to you was certainly not a qualified Are we just supposed to pronounce that surgeon? I'm going to pronounce that surgeon. Someone who would typically be permitted to minister to the person of the illustrious rogue trader. It looks like you're back with us. I don't know whether to offer my congratulations or commiserations. The scaled Xenos looks at you without the slightest deference. Thank you for your help. I do not want your thanks, humanling. You will earn back every stimulant I spent on you. As soon as you stand up, you are seized by a strange sense of unreality. It is as if you are still there in the wicked darkness, and everything around you is merely a twisted mirage. Ooh, we're going on a trip. Doubt seeps into your mind like a poison, sundering its contact with your body. You have to make a deliberate effort to hold on to the thought that you are you. What, is your mind maggot giving you trouble? I saw it latch onto your spinal cord when you were being patched up. A fat, well-fed grub it was, with lots of teeth. It's dying now. They have a short lifespan, and that means its poison is especially toxic. You'll lose touch with reality from time to time, and when the mind maggot dies, the final dose of poison will make you think your body is not your body at all, and then your heart will just stop beating. What? So it's a death sentence? Jesus, why didn't they just shoot me in the head if that's the case? A dying parasite in the rogue trader's body, poisoning his mind with its hallucinogenic toxin. I could have pulled that thing out of you, of course, but I thought, why should I? Consider it a guarantee of your gratitude towards me. When you've earned your healing, I'll release you from it. Okay, I see what you're getting at. Okay. The lipless mouth stretches into a bloodthirsty grin. Who are you? I am Malice, and the rabble you see are my shriekers. We are gladiators, the bleeding meat of the fatal thirst's combat arena. We are the beasts who go out there to kill and to die in glorious deaths for the entertainment of the Dark City. And this den is our pleasure ground. Where am I? Camera. The Dark City, the underside of existence, the realm of the Drukhari. You heard of it, humanling? Isn't that technically in a different, don't you have to go through a gate to get there? I don't know if it's in an alternate reality, if it's in another dimension. I think it's a different dimension almost, right? But hell if I know. Okay. What is a mind maggot? A kind of translucent slug. It is a parasite that can only be found on this side of reality. Yeah, so we're in some other dimension. Mind maggots feed on your memory, and they inject toxic hallucinations into your mind to stop you resisting. Drukhari can train these creatures and use them to show their victims devious mirages. So that's what all of the weird stuff with Void Fear and whatnot was. Okay. And why did you decide to help me in the end? You are a cocky whelp, but feeble like all members of your race. Your cockiness has not got you killed yet, which means you must be someone important, and you might be useful. What do you want from me? Kill for me. Go into the mangled sector and find a freak called the Commissar. One of your kind, I'm a Commissar, and spill his guts for me. Do that and you will earn my favor, and in the chasm that counts for a lot. Who is it? It's gonna be some guy named Abelard Berseri. A prisoner of the Drukhari who thinks too highly of himself. Instead of dying in the arena without any fuss, he is hiding, gathering other slaves of your race around him and making pathetic plans to get his revenge. And many of your kind are listening to him. See how few humanling shriekers there are. They used to all come to me, but now they listen to the Commissar and no longer come. Okay. Now, we've heard of a couple people going missing. I'm trying to think. So, we've got somebody that Pascal is looking for. I'm blanking on his name right now. Argenta had somebody go missing that she was looking for. The predecessor for Cassia disappeared in space at some point. I'm wondering if a bunch of those people ended up here somehow. We know a bunch of people have gone missing out in space that nobody's heard from since, and it's possible that they could be here. But I don't know if I remember a Commissar being discussed. The Mangled Sector. What an off-putting name. It's an off-putting place. It's the base of the spire in which we live. Kamara is stitched together from scraps of various dimensions, and in the Mangled Sector, the seams are starting to rip. Space is collapsing in on itself, and entropic radiation is off the scale, spawning all kinds of abominations, and the sector itself is slowly but surely turning into nothing. Some unhinged humanling went there recently. What did they call him? It is Versarion! But he's not the one they're referring to as the Commissar, is it? Is it? Versarion? He was old but strong and too loud. His visit probably stirred up all the freaks. You should be more careful and quieter than he was. Okay, so we're gonna find Abelard. You'd have to be insane to set foot in a place like that. Insane or an outcast like the Commissar, hiding from the hunt, or you. Why do you want me to do it? Because it's dangerous, I'm sure. I don't want to drag my whole gang into the Mangled Sector. The place will kill off 3 times more fighters than the Commissar's crew will. That means I need to send in an assassin. The Commissar's fighters know my shriekers, but nobody knows you. And besides, you don't have a choice, which means you'll see it through to the end. Okay. I'm gonna need a more serious weapon and any armor if you've got it. Prove that you're useful first. Do this and Malice will see that you have decent toys to play with. Not before. In the meantime, you can pick something out of the junk pile. He gestures at a container half full of shoddy equipment. Very well. I'll kill him. Bring me his head, and in exchange I will share my toys with you. They make surviving in Kamara possible. Huh. Who is this Commissar gonna be? Is it gonna be like somebody we will have some familiarity with? Okay, so there's gonna be gear somewhere
Always
here.
keep your eye on the prize.
Examine the wounds.
It's just a temporary setback.
We failed. A gruesome blow has caved in the gladiator's skull, but surprisingly he is still alive. Well, that bites. Okay, that's the gear. We're gonna keep everything for now. Okay, well, we've got a shotgun. The sniper is Eldari. We can take a shotgun. This one-handed? Okay, then we can put that on there. Okay, medium armor's 30.75. Oh, that's a heavy. Well, I think that's as good as we can get right now. What is this doing? 5 agility and a % dodge against attacks of opportunity. Okay. Oh, there is a sniper. I'm blind. Yeah, we'll do that then. A shotgun for when they get close, sniper for everything else. Alright, I am way over time. I was not paying attention to my time. But yeah, let's go ahead and end our episode here. So thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
I'd like to give a very special shout out to my patron supporters: Darren York, ZTD, Knife Namaste, Kyle the Monarch, Chris Murphy, JW, Quinless, Vlado101, Andy Ford, Bruce Wizzle, Black Mamba 90, Eureka Gecko, A Happy Fat Panda, Turkeyfoot 27, Pedo Kuto, Shadow Raven, Hannah Kate the Great, The Blue Electric Cat, Emily Kuzanoa, Philip Dougherty, and Nadia N. If you would also like to join this tier or any others, check out my memberships or my Patreon in the description down below.